Hello and welcome to the Bottom Up Skills podcast. We are at the fourth installment of our four-part series. It is the case study into Zoom video. In the previous episode, we were deep in the world of promotion, and in particular, Zoom have got some killer full-stack partnerships going on. A lot to learn there. There's been a lot to learn so far, but I promise you, I still have a lot to share with you in this episode because this fourth P, as usual in a case study, we're going to go into profit. And I can tell you one thing, Zoom has a very special business model. In fact, it is so good, it has this rare characteristic that it actually gets more profitable over time. As they get bigger, they actually make more percentage profit. Now, this is incredibly rare, and this is what we call a network effect. I'm going to tell you all about that and plenty more in this, our last part, our last installment of the Zoom case study. Buckle on in, get your espresso because this one is going to be great. It's the Zoom case study, part 4, profit. Let's go. Okay, here we are. The fourth P, profit. How does Zoom put the dollars in the bank? How do they grow? What's the economic model? Are they creating value? Are they capturing value? Well, the answer is yes, 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 and yes. Let's get straight into it. Number one, this is a little bit counterintuitive. They make lots of money because they have a strong freemium model. And the reason that this is counterintuitive is obviously you're giving away a really good product for free. But here's how it makes sense. This is the biggest money earner ever for them because here's how it works. What they discovered is that if you try the free one, you will go on to buy the premium one. But I'm going to put another twist on here. This is not just the SaaS direct-to-consumer model. This even works on really big clients. Check this number out. 55% of $100,000 or higher revenue customers were started by a single employee's free trial, 55%. So in really big enterprise clients with hundreds of thousands of licenses from Zoom, over half of those started with one employee having a free trial. So if you ever were in doubt about the freemium model, this is all the proof you need. So by giving it away, by giving their product to people to trial, to have a basic version, then they end up converting them not just for $100 deals, but well in excess of $100,000 deals. Okay, that's number one. So like freemium, it's all working for them. Now the crazy thing here, and this is really unique, this is even to a greater extent than Revolut in our recent case study. What Zoom enjoys is one of the biggest addressable markets I've ever seen. Because frankly, who's their market? Well, it's kind of everyone. And well, how you quantify that, I can't put a number to it, so I'm not going to go there. But I'm going to show you what happens when you've done all the things we've talked about and how your market just explodes under the right conditions. So what I've done is I've taken a year's worth of data from Google search. It's worldwide. And I've compared what happened when quarantine and COVID all happened. I compared Zoom with Skype, WebEx, Google Hangouts, and Blue Jeans. And the data is off the charts. Their nearest competitor, when we talk about the volume of search, is maybe 20%. And that's Skype. Maybe Skype got 20% of the increase of interest and search queries to that of Zoom. Said differently, Zoom was always ahead pre-COVID. But when COVID hit, it was such a perfect storm that all of the things I've been describing on this case study came together and their business boomed. And I'm talking boomed, not like twice, not like 3 times as much as their nearest competitor. I'm talking like a 5x return. So because they are so well positioned, they have enjoyed a higher spike than any of their competitors by a massive degree. This demonstrates how big their addressable market is and how well they've set up not only their product, but also their brand to enjoy the bump when it came. Now we're going to get a little bit into some microeconomics of how the business works, but this one is killer. This one is the utopia of all economists, of all chief financial officers, free cash flow. But what we're going to see is something bigger than that. We're going to see economies of scale. This is something that businesses often talk so much about. The classic thing is when two big companies merge together, they talk about, economies of scale and things like that, which, by the way, rarely ever work out to be so true. But what is really crazy is over time, Zoom's efficiency actually increases whilst they are growing. So this is really substantial. Said differently, as they're growing, as they're getting bigger, and remember, bigger is often the thing that always holds companies back. If you're a large Fortune 50 company, if you get anywhere close to double-digit growth, you're like a superstar, right? Yeah, because as it gets bigger, it gets harder to manage more complexity, so on and so forth. But I want you to have in your mind the number of 82%, and then we're going to explain why it matters. So let's do a comparable. Let's dig into the bottom line. Let's dig into their financial reporting and see where these economies of scale take place. Where is the proof that this thing kind of gets more efficient as it grows? Here we go. In the year ending January 2017, operating expense to sales was 79%, the same as it was in 2019. So what they're saying here is basically the operating expenses to sales was 79% for 2 or 3 years running. But meanwhile, Zoom's gross margin increased from 79% to 82%. So their percentage of costs didn't change. They were able to keep hold of that. So they delivered to more customers for the same rate, but the top line grew from 79 to 82. Gross margin increased. This means that just as they grow, they don't only make the total volume of profit is bigger, but what is actually its percentage of revenue increases because they're able to control their expenses. And I think what you will see here, this is because they're super focused as a company on one thing, video, super focused on being cloud first so they can scale much easier. They have a great culture. They retain people really, really, really well, so they're not churning customers. Their greatest advocates that go out and market the company are their employees and their customers. They are primed and ready for this sort of it's a real rarity in business, which is they genuinely just get better as they grow. This is truly rare. What is even rarer still is if you look at what is happening with people, product, and promotion, they are also in extremely good shape. So to sort of pull together the profit picture, strong freemium offering. This is fantastic. They just give away their product and somehow they make money. This is fantastic. Those large enterprise clients start with just a free trial or a freemium version. They're a product for everyone, which is just wonderful. That means billions of potential customers, and they just get more efficient over time. So there you have it. That is the fourth part of a deep dive into the business and the universe of Zoom video. I hope you've enjoyed looking at how they make money, because I got a ton of learnings out of this one. Okay, so now it's time to do a recap. You have been sort of blitzed, if you will, with 12 different ideas around people, product, profit, and promotion. I think it is now the exercise of great discipline and simplicity. Let's try and pull it all together. If we just take a breath and look at Zoom video, I've got 4 thoughts that sort of pull it all together. I think, look, this is a single-minded company with a deep focus on video. That's number one, their success. And what we can take out of this is, how can we create a business and a product that is single-minded, that is very focused? 2, I think they walk the talk here around happiness. They promise it, sounds pretty big, but they actually deliver on it. And that's why their employees love them. I think when we look at promotion, I think their best ambassadors, their best advocates are both customers and employees, equally raving about it. And lastly, everywhere you look, you have the characteristics, like the feature set in this business, in this P&L, for very profitable scale. I mean, this is quite literally an entrepreneur's dream, because you've got those 4 Ps really working in concert with each other to create a great product, to create a great business. And frankly, if you think about things such as legacy, this is a product that people love. And not only are those customers gushing, but actually employees love working at the company. Well, I hope you've really enjoyed this 4 Ps and the whole model, the framework that we've used to dig into the business of Zoom has really been all anchored in what we call bottom-up innovation. Looking at these indicators, looking at these mental models, these habits and tactics, everything that contributes to building great, audacious, brave businesses. And I hope you, our creators, our entrepreneurs, our product owners, our business owners, I hope all of you have been able to take just a couple of ideas from this masterclass, from this deep dive, this case study on Zoom. I've got so many lessons from doing it. I'm really, really glad to have been able to share it with you. If you're at all interested in some of the topics that come up here and you want to know more, jump into the other classes here on bottomup.io. Please enjoy them, share them with your friends. We're really keen to share the thinking with everyone to get them building better products and better business. So there you have it. That's a wrap for this episode of the Bottom Up Skills podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. And remember, if you want to go deeper on anything you've heard on the show today or any of the past shows, just head over to bottomup.io. You're going to find all sorts of goodies there. Free video courses, masterclasses. Get in there. There's lots to learn. We want to share how to build great products. So thanks once again for joining us on the Bottom Up Skills podcast.